The state of politics at the moment in the States, I don't know what you would do if you're an American citizen at the moment, except tear your hair out. What's going on both sides of the political divide?
You know, I hate to tell you, here in Tennessee, years ago, we had the majority leader of the Democratic Party in the Tennessee State House go to jail, get reelected from jail, and then resume his position as the top Democrat in the House. So it's unusual, but it's not unprecedented to see this kind of criminal activity end up in somebody either getting reelected or perhaps in this case, maybe pardoning themselves. You know, I think the most interesting thing about the whole last week is the Hunter Biden case plea deal falling apart, because you had both the prosecutors and the defense team apparently conspiring together to do kind of a secret deal to get him immunity from both crimes he's been charged with, crimes he might be charged with, and things he might do in the future. And the judge saw through it and threw it out because this would be unprecedented. But the prosecution and the defense were basically conspiring to try to pull one over on the judge, and it didn't work.
It's an astonishing state of affairs because Trump should really be kind of under the cosh over this, and yet Hunter Biden is handing the Trump team a great opportunity. The approval ratings are extraordinary. So Donald Trump is 56% unfavourable. Biden, who should be romping ahead, is 54% unapproval. So it seems, Steve, that the option is to voters, do you want to be hung or do you want to be shot?
Well, and it's not just the presidency. We've got Dianne Feinstein, the octogenarian senator from California, who had a complete brain freeze this week. You have Mitch McConnell, who leads the Republicans in the Senate, who had an 18-minute or 18-second brain freeze. I mean, we are being led by folks who are way past their expiration date on a milk carton, and it's not just the presidency.
No, that's right. Oh, dear, we're seeing pictures of President Biden falling up those aircraft steps. And I know that accidents can happen, and there's nothing wrong with being old and very, very experienced. But it's just not a good look, is it, for either of the big candidates? For the Hunter Biden thing, it's not Hunter Biden who's standing for office. So how damaging is it to his father that he's facing all these awful charges?
I think it's the conflagration, the whole thing coming together on fire of where he was getting the money. There's no doubt that he was getting tens of millions of dollars. I'm talking about Hunter. And then it was being dispersed to Biden family members. But it's not like he was getting money from Uruguay or was getting money from Chile. He was getting it from China and Ukraine, where we have an active war with Russia right now, with China that's threatening war. It's where these outside foreign dollars were coming from, and whether and how they were affecting U.S. foreign policy under President Biden, and may be affecting things now. We're continuing to pour billions of dollars into Ukraine, where we now know they were putting millions of dollars into Hunter Biden's pockets, and maybe some of that money was going into President Biden's pocket.
And Steve, Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, who was seen as the next great white hope, the kind of successor to Trump, he's going through a sticky patch as well. He's been saying that anybody who's been in jail should be banned from voting. He's had a storm of protests about that. He's also now 46% unfavourable. He was meant to be the great hope for the future for the Republicans. He seems to be withering away. Trump is still ahead by nearly 30 points nationally in every state against him. So it still seems, despite all of the muck that's been thrown around, Trump is still very much the front runner.
Yeah, and every indictment just strengthens his hand in the Republican primary. Now, how that's going to play in the general election when libertarian and female voters and young voters get their chance who aren't as partisan as the primary is, we'll see how that plays out. Ron DeSantis has just apparently fired about 1/3 of his campaign staff trying to reset things. And we've seen here in the U.S., when somebody runs for president for the first time, they may be a very successful governor or senator or business person. It is a big game to move into the ranks rather than playing at your local club. So it's a big jump to go to that next level. And we see so often that people can't make that jump as effectively as they might have thought. I think
we'll watch and see, because it's all going to play out in front of us, isn't it, very shortly. It's lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us.